Hello friends and welcome to Keree's Life Notes. Today we are talking about one of the most used productivity tools, that is a to-do list. I'm sure all of us have used this tool at some point or the other. Some of us like to write it down in our mobile phone, some of us like to write it in an actual notebook, or some of us may just keep it in our mind, but we've all used it. And I feel so good at the end of every day when I get to tick mark all the items that I've completed from my to-do list, but I also feel so unhappy and so depressed looking at all the list of action items that I have not been able to do. So today I'm sharing my practical tips to make a to-do list that actually helps you get work done. And my first tip to do this is to keep your to-do list always accessible to you. For example, I like to keep my to-do list on my mobile phone and I use Google Keep as the app where I keep my notes. It's extremely convenient and simple to use, and the benefit is that I always have access to it. So whenever I think of a new action item or whenever I've completed an action item, I can very quickly tick it off from my list. If you're one of those people who love to write in a notebook, then make sure you're always carrying the notebook with you. It's a small notebook that you can carry with you at all times. Also, keep a pen tagged to your notebook so that whenever you need to write something, you don't have to hurry around looking for a pen. So keep your to-do list very accessible to you. The second thing that I like to do to make my to-do lists very practical are to categorize things. So I have a separate to-do list for my work action items and I have a separate to-do list for my personal or home related action items. And the reason it's very important to do it is because you want to make sure that whenever you're looking at a list, that list of items goes together. So you don't want to be running around doing an errand for your home and then suddenly switch to an action item for your office. Another way to categorize your to-do list is by how urgent and important your list is. I know a lot of people at work like to use this and I do too. So whenever I'm creating my work to-do list, I put things which are most urgent and most important in a separate area, and then things which I can get to over, let's say, the next couple of days in a separate list. So make sure you have the appropriate categories which work for your lifestyle whenever you're creating a to-do list. Don't create a long list of 50 action items. The third thing I love to do with my to-do list is to always put down how much time it's going to take to complete a particular action. And I think this is one of the main reasons why most to-do lists fail, and at the end of the day we end up with a to-do list where we have not been able to check off most of the items. So I love to write down how much time each item is going to take. So for example, if I have to make a presentation for a meeting, I will say I need an hour, and then I'll go ahead and block an hour on my calendar for that action item, because if I don't do that, then this to-do list is just a wish list of things that you want to do. It's not really serving you as a tool of productivity. And I absolutely believe that any list which doesn't have how much time action items are going to take is an incomplete to-do list. It's not going to help you get your work done. The fourth thing that I love to do with my to-do lists is to review them. The point of a to-do list is to serve as a reminder that these are all the actions that are still pending and this is how much time it's going to take you to do. So I like to typically review my to-do list middle of the day so that I can take stock of how productive I have been during that day and what else I need to do in the remainder of the day. So typically after lunch is when I will look at my to-do list and review it and see what all have I already checked off and what all do I need to do more in the rest of the day. And my fifth and final tip is to not spend too much time making the to-do list. Spend time on doing the to-do list, not on making it. This is so important, especially for all of us who are hyper organized, and I count myself as a hyper organized person. I used to spend like an hour just creating my to-do list every day, and I realized it's such a waste of time to make your to-do list perfect. I think at max you should spend 5 to 10 minutes every day creating and reviewing your to-do list. That's it. That's all that's needed. And I think with regular practice, you will get better and better and be more efficient with making and actioning on your to-do list. I really hope you found this video useful and took some practical tips away with you. Thank you for joining in today. I'll see you in the next one.